Hi, and welcome to my instructional strategy video as part of my BC Instructional Diploma. Today we're going to be looking at an instructional strategy that falls under problem solving, and it's called What's the Problem? When you're thinking about what's the problem and using this method, there are two types of thinking. One is called reflective and the other is creative. In reflective, we focus on developing and implementing solutions, while in creative, the focus is on generating ideas and brainstorming. And this is used for strategic planning, developing new ideas, or developing protocols and procedures. But today we're going to use reflective. So using reflective helps the students to think about problems with an open mind, identify solutions, and consider all the possible outcomes. Though this method is not useful in all situations, when trying to resolve complex problems where there could be more than one possible solution, it's a good way to go. So during my research for this, I found a number of different theories, which are all referenced at the end of the video. I found that they all have similar formats and steps to follow. So let's get started. Step 1, defining the problem.
Stuck, blind and deaf, and paralyzed, no power.
So in step 1, we need to define the problem. And some of the things that we need to take into consideration when we're doing this is what is the effect of this problem? What is it stopping us from accomplishing? And what is the desired outcome? It's really important in this step that students are able to separate the problem from any people involved so that they don't make any premature or biased judgments. Also, defining the problem at this stage will help us decide on the best strategy or method to pursue in resolving it and save us a lot of time in the end. This method is best used to help students understand complex problems with only a few possible defined solutions, or while doing strategic planning. In cases where there are many possible solutions or ideas, other strategies may be a better fit. Step 2, analyzing the problem.
Well, we just can't stand around while our ship is being attacked. You've got to get me some maneuvering power. I can't repair warp drive without a space gun. Then get me impulse power, half speed, quarter speed, anything. If we can get this Hulk moving, maybe we can do something. Aye. The impulse engines are still in fair shape. I might coax them and get moving.
So in the second stage, we need to further analyze the problem with the intent of finding some possible solutions. When analyzing the problem, the following things should be considered. What resources do we need to access? And are there some specific people that need to be involved? Some of the strategies that can be very useful in accomplishing this are making lists and drawing diagrams. By utilizing these tools, we can get a clear understanding of the situation or problem, which will give us a much better idea of what direction we need to proceed to achieve the desired outcome. In this indirect method of instruction, the role of the teacher shifts from that of lecturer or director to that of a facilitator, a supporter, and a resource person. The teacher arranges the learning environment, provides opportunity for student involvement, and, when appropriate, gives feedback to the students. The role of the student in this method requires a very high level of involvement in observing, investigating, analyzing data, and forming ideas. It takes advantage of the student's interest and curiosity and encourages them to generate alternatives and to solve problems. Step 3 is identifying possible solutions.
Kirk here. Captain, the impulse engine's control circuits are fused solid.
What about the warp drive control circuits?
Aye, we can cross-connect the controls, but it'll make the ship almost impossible for one man to handle.
Worry about your miracle, Scotty. I'll worry about mine. Get to work.
Aye, sir.
So in this stage, we need to brainstorm as many different solutions as possible. No ideas are thrown out at the beginning of this stage, and everyone's input is valued. It may be helpful once a number of solutions are identified to break into some smaller groups and have each group concentrate on a different one. Now, some of the strategies we can use to identify possible solutions are, again, drawing diagrams and making lists, but also check and guess, look for a pattern, or simply start at the end, the solution that you want, and work backwards from that. Once each group has had an opportunity to work through their solution, have everyone come back together and present their ideas to the group as a whole, and then the group will decide on the best one or two that they want to pursue. Step 4, implementing the solution. So in step 4, we need to devise a clear, defined plan on how we want to implement the solution. Depending on the complexity of the problem, this stage may take only a short time, or it may need more time and resources to further develop along the way. It's very important in this stage not to get caught up in following through on a solution if it is discovered partway through that it's just not going to work. If this happens, we may need to go back to step 3, look at some of the other solutions. Step 5, testing the plan.
Beam me aboard. Energize.
Energize. Bridge, it's shorted out again.
So the final step is going to be to test the solution. Did it fulfill the criteria that we established for success? If so, awesome. But sometimes even the best solution may not be perfect. So in these cases, we need to ensure that the positives outweigh the negatives. And sometimes the solution may be perfect for one person, but not another. After all, we're all different. We have different backgrounds, different life experiences. So, welcome to the world of compromise. So in summary, let's just review. Step 1, identify the problem. This is where we find out what the problem is, what it's affecting, and what we want the possible outcomes to be. Step 2 is to further analyze the problem. This is where we're going to define it further down and come up with some possible outcomes that we want. Step 3, we're going to break into groups. We're going to identify possible solutions. Remember, all the solutions go on the table. Nothing gets thrown out at this stage until the end when the group decides which one or two they want to go further with. Step 4 is implementing the desired outcome. So this is actually making it so, making all the changes that are needed to solve the problem. And then the final stage, of course, is test it. Put the plan into action and see if it works. Okay? If you want further information, these are the resources I used. There's a lot of online information, some books, and then there's a link to this Prezi if you want to view it in your own time.